His favourite daughters to be with us this evening, and it's a real privilege to welcome Bronagh Gallagher into the house this evening. Now, Bronagh actually doesn't necessarily need the big build-up and the rest. In fact, she wouldn't even want it. But Bronagh and I met when she was about 14 or 15, and I was working with Bronagh's sister Louise. And from the very beginning, there was no doubt that Bronagh was into performance art, was into the movies, doing all that sort of stuff, the Commitment, Star Wars, Pulp Fiction, all that. But you know what? She gets my vote because she's a drummer, and that's what is the best thing. And anybody also who is a drummer and a singer and can hoodwink Brian Eno into collaborating on their first record has got something really good going down. So it's just an enormous privilege to have all these wonderfully talented people in the house this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, to make the speech for the third only Oh Yeah Legends Award, would you welcome, please, Bronagh Gallagher.
Hi, everybody. Okay. If I start crying, then you'll all understand. Get your coat. Get your coat, come on. Your Auntie Daisy's taking you to see a band. Who? What band? A band from Derry. Does Derry have bands? Aye, they do. And I grew up beside Mickey Bradley and his house, and they'll all be there, so get your coat, go on. We were all marched down to Oscar's nightclub in Waterloo Street. Wee duffel coats on, Tito in the bag, and a wee Milky Way in the pocket. And then we went up the front, because we were all so tiny, there was nowhere else to go. All the neighbours seemed to be there too. The mammies, the daddies, the odd Wayne in a pram. There was definitely a dog in the corner because I could hear him. And the band's parents standing proudly in the audience. Billy Doherty on the drums. Mickey Bradley on the bass. Damien O'Neill on the guitar. John O'Neill on the lead guitar. And Fergal Sharkey on the vocals. Where are they from? Where are they from? They're from Derry. What? I'm from Derry too. Aye, they're from Derry. But to me, they had just came through the roof. They come through the roof of that club, Oscar's nightclub at the bottom of Waterloo Street. And they were a burning meteor. And they were burning out of control. But they were completely in control. And that meteor, from way up there in the sky, a rock and roll meteor, exploded into the earth in Derry. And they created a massive crater. And every young person in the Bogside and Craigan dived into it. They became our obsession. The pocket money of everybody on our street went toward the 45s that were released, the badges and Quaver records, and of course, the Mickey Bradley outfit. I had it all. There was no one getting a dress on me. The hair was cut short. The wee monkey boots was on because we couldn't afford the Dr. Martens, they were too dear. And my mother cut up my dad's old jeans and made us, my sister Louise, who's here tonight as well, and our brother Paul, who's in London, giving it a big shout out, our mammy made us Undertones jeans. The Pope came to Ireland. Live Aid happened, but nothing could have topped the Undertones on top of the Pops. That was it. They were God. When we weren't out seeing the Tones or the Moondogs, we went to the Marvel Moor Youth Club, to the music disco, and one night there was a competition, and me and our Louise, we won the competition. When they took us up to the stage, and they had one of those glittery curtains in the background, they brought out 2 plastic bags and they handed a white one to Louise and they handed a yellow one to me. And when I opened up that bag, I literally nearly fainted because I didn't have one. No one did, but I did. And it was mine now. And no one in the world would ever know how I felt that night. It's worth a fortune now. eBay. It was down to my shins, so I wore it as a nightdress for years. And as I grew, it faded, but my love for the 15 rockin' humdingers never did. As I grew up in Derry, and the t-shirt fitted better, and another little meteor struck, and John O'Neill and his very good-looking wife moved into our street in Jackney Way, I would saunter up to John O'Neill's and knock on the door and see, "Is John coming out to play?" And he never did. And I always knew his wife never went in and actually told him I was at the door. She just always politely said, "John's not in, love." We knew he was. So finally, we stopped harassing the Undertones and their lovely girlfriends and wives, and we moved to the Union Hall to find fellas of our own. Jesus, the Union Hall. The Union Hall and the band that we all fell in love with, the Carolines. And the boy we all wanted to kiss, Paul McClune. But he was always far too cool, and he was far too tall for me. But if he even looked at you over the stage, and your night was made. And if you even said you knew him, you were the coolest girl in the club. I left Derry when I was 18 and went off looking for other bands to love. I loved many bands, but you know the old saying, you never forget your first love, and true love never dies. As the years rolled by and the band broke up and the songs got better with age, another meteor fell to the earth, and it was the genius idea to reform the Undertones. And if Fergal wasn't singing, who could possibly fill his shoes? As the rumours flew about, the golden truth emerged that the one and only Paul McClune. We used to say, "Paul McClune, he makes me swoon." It's really cheesy, isn't it? Well, Paul McClune was going to front the band, so sweet Jesus, there is a God. The Tones were back, and they were recording new songs, and a new album was on the way. 2 new albums later, and the Undertones are as loved as ever, and it is truly my privilege, overwhelming privilege, to stand here, and it is an honour to be part of this presentation tonight. So I'm going to ask one last time, John O'Neill, are you and your mates coming out to play? Ladies and gentlemen, the Undertones!
As they say in Derry, we are broke dead. I'll drop the mic.
I'd just like to thank Terry Hooley, because without Terry, we would never have released Teenage Kicks. Terry Hooley, this is for you.
And it's for all Undertones past and present. Fergal's not here. I think he's talking to the Pope in London. He's lecturing him about illegal downloads.
Okay guys, just before the Undertones kick off, if you'd indulge us for 1 second, we'd like to get a photograph with Bronagh and the Undertones at the front here while we can, before the guys have to shoot off at the end of the night. And a couple of the OEF people have been working so hard, so I'm sure you'll let us have that little indulgence just for 2 seconds on the stage.
Can we have the bride's family now, please?
So we can get married?
Never too late. Charlotte.
We're all about 2 way.
Yeah, just sit in.
Yes.
Sorry, alright, Paul.
There you go. That's all right. Really please.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much indeed for your patience, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, a massive round of applause, please, for the very legendary Undertones.
Thank you. Well, can I just say as well that Bronagh's mama used to cut my hair? So this is for me and Bert. And Bert apparently told Bronagh or Louise that if anything happens to you, he can sing.
All right, that's fair enough.
Right.
Hello. Billy has no monitor. Hello.
Bit of housekeeping.
And God knows Billy needs a monitor, so
Oh, there's no monitor.
needs constant monitoring.
He has no sense.
Are we ready?
Right. We're right.
Away you go.